Dear students, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we completed your third topic, that is nothing but nutrition in animals. And today we are going to start with the new topic, that is nothing but fiber to fabrics. In the last section, that is nothing but in the class 6, we already discussed about the fabrics to the fiber. We discussed about what is fiber, why we discussed about what is fabric. We discussed about the different types of the fibers. We discussed about how those fibers are going to process so that we are going to get the fabrics. Before that, we are going to study about some basics about these things. After that, we are going to start the topic. So, what do we mean by fabrics? Fabrics are nothing but those are the cloth. Fabrics are nothing but those are the clothing material which we are wearing. So, fabrics are cloth only. We can say that fabrics are cloth or clothing material. Right? If you check, there is a variety of the clothing material, and those material are made from the different type of kinds of the substances. So, what do you mean by fiber? What do you mean by fiber? So, if you check here, fabrics. Those fabrics, when you correctly check, when the clothing materials, if you correctly check, those are made from the small threads. Those are made from the small threads. Those threads arrangement is nothing but they are going to constitute a fabric. So the close arrangement of those fabric threads is going to constitute what? They are going to constitute a fabric. So those threads, either threads or other name for that thread is nothing but what? It is the yarn. So these threads or yarn together constitute what? They are going to constitute fabrics. So from where does those yarn came? From where does those yarn came? Those yarn came from where? Those yarn came from the fibers. So again, if you check this thread, we are going to put that thread into needle eye. We are going to take a needle and we are going to putting that thread into needle eye. When you check it closely, check that thread. It again has some filament-like structures. It again has some filament-like structure. Applying this adhesive, we are going to close that thing. We are going to all the filament-like structure will be closer. Then we are going to put that thread into a eye of the needle. So, if you check that thread is also made from some filament-like structures. Those filament-like structures are nothing but what? Those are the fibers. Those are the fibers. If you check here, this fabric is made from what? The fabric is made from the thread or yarn. It is made from the thread or yarn. Again, when you closely check that thread or yarn, it is made from what? It is made from the fiber. It is made from the fiber. So, whichever clothing material which we are going to make, which we are going to do, which we are going to prepare or manufacture, it is going to be done by the fiber. First fibers are going to convert it into thread, then threads are arranged, so that we are going to take or we are going to see this fabric. So fabrics are the clothing material. So what is the fiber? Fiber can be defined as, if you remember the previous class, in the 6th class, fiber can be defined as long, fine. It is very long and fine, continuous thread, continuous thread or filament, continuous thread or filamentous, continuous thread or filamentous, continuous thread or filamentous substance. Continuous thread or filamentous substance. That is nothing but fiber. Fiber on processing is going to give thread or yarn. On processing of those things is going to give what? It is going to give cloth. So, what are the different type of fibers? So this is about the fiber. Now, what are the different type of fibers? If you check, fibers are of two types. Fibers are mainly classified into two types. What are those? So fibers are classified into two types. So what are those? One is natural fiber which doesn't mean by the man-made. In the same manner, synthetic fiber is nothing but it is not made, it is man-made one. If you check various clothing material which is made from the silk or which is made from the, for example, if you take it is made from the jute, so that jute or that silk are man-made? No, it is already present in the nature. So that those type of fibers are nothing but natural fiber. Whereas synthetic fiber which is made by the man. If you take the polyester cloth, if you take the rayon cloth, those clothing material is made by the man by using the chemicals. So those are nothing but synthetic fiber. Another name for the synthetic fiber is the artificial fiber. Another name for the synthetic fiber is artificial fiber. Right? So natural fiber are nothing but what? Which are present in the nature. Which are present in the nature naturally. Present in the nature naturally. And whereas synthetic fiber is man-made. These are the man-made, which is also known as artificial fibers. Right? In that natural fiber, again we have two categories. Depending on the different modes from where we are going to get, we have two categories. One is plant fiber. Another one is animal fiber. Depending on the sources which we are going to get those fibers, we have plant fiber, we have animal fiber. So we have two types of the natural fiber. One is plant fiber, another one is animal fiber. Same in the manner synthetic fiber or the artificial fiber which are man-made. So what are the plant fiber? Here the source of the fiber is from plant. We are going to get the fiber from the plants. So if you take the example of the cotton, cloth which is made from the cotton fiber. So from where does we are going to get the cotton? From the cotton plant. So it is a plant fiber. In the same manner, animal fiber if you take the example of the silk, you came across the silk sarees and you came across the silk sarees as well as you came across some of the wool clothing, the cloths which are made from the wool. If you take the source of those fibers, the silk is coming from the cocoon of a silk. So that silk is an animal being. Silk is an animal being. In the same manner, if you take the wool is coming from the fleece of the animals. Those are nothing but hairs. So if you take the example of the sheep, if you take the example of the goats, if you take the example of the yards, so from those hairs, from hairs of those animals, we are getting what? We are getting the wool. So the source of the fiber of the wool is nothing but what? Those are the animals. So the fibers which are coming from the animals are nothing but those are the animal fibers. Right? Those are the animal fibers. So example here for the plant fiber are one is cotton. Second one is jute. Whereas example for the animal fiber is one is what? The wool. Second one is what? It is the silk. First one is wool. Second one is the silk. In the same way, if you take the example of the synthetic fibers, that is nothing but first one is polyester. If you take the example of the synthetic fiber, in this I am going to write the first one is polyester. Second one is polyester. Second one is rayon. Like this, we have n number of synthetic fibers. These are some examples. In the 6th class, we already discussed about the plant fibers. We discussed about how does those fibers are converted into the fibrate. In the 6th class, we discussed about the cotton fiber as well as we discussed about the jute fiber. So if you remember the 6th class, in the processing of the cotton fiber, first we are going to have some steps for the processing of the So first step is nothing but it is the ginning. It is the ginning step in the processing of the cotton fiber. So in that ginning process, what we do, we separate the seeds from the cotton. We separate the seeds from the cotton so that the mature cotton seeds or cotton fruit is going to pour out the cotton. So that in that cotton there will be presence of the seeds. Those seeds are separated by the ginning process. Ginning process. After that we have to enter third step, that is nothing but drawing and carding. In the drawing step, in the carding step, what we are doing, we are stretching those fibers. We are stretching those cotton from those fruits, so that it will be easy to us that we are going to clear the impurities which are present in those fibers. In the first step, in the second step, you are stretching those fibers or we are stretching those cottons. In this the fourth step, what we are doing, we are spinning. We have a spinning process or spinning step. In that spinning step, what we are doing here, we are whatever fiber we have now, we have separated the fiber. Those fibers are converted into the yarn or thread by using the spinning. After the spinning, we have weaving. In that weaving step, what we are going to do, we are converting the yarn or thread by using the hand looms or by using the looms to make the fabric. So those threads are converted into the fabrics by the hand looms or by the power looms. Another step we have, that is nothing but knitting. In that knitting, by using the hands, we are going to knit the thread one by one so that we are going to produce the fabric or we are going to produce the clothing. So which one is covered in the 6th class only, as well as we have discussed about the jute fiber, which we are going to get from the jute plant, from the stem of the jute, where we are going to keep the stem of the jute for 10 to 15 days in the soaking for the. We are going to soak that stem for 10 to 15 days. Then we are going to separate the jute fiber. Then we are going to use the weaving or knitting process so that we are going to produce the clothing material. So already we discussed those things in today's class or in this topic, that is nothing but fabric to fabrics. In your 7th class, we are going to study about the natural fiber. That is nothing but we are going to study about the animal fibers material. So from where does we are going to get those animal fibers? From which part of those animals we are going to get the animal fiber? How that animal fiber is processed so that we are going to get what? Animal fabric. We are going to get fabric. So those things we are going to discuss in this topic. That is nothing but fiber to the fabrics. So we are going to discuss one by one about the animal fibers. So we have two types of animal fibers. One is wool, another one is silk. So from where does we are going to get the wool? We are going to get wool from the fleece of the animals. In the same manner, from where does we are going to get the silk? We are going to get the silk from the cocoon of the silk. So wool is coming from where? It is coming from the fleece. That is nothing but hair of the animals. In the same manner, from where does we are going to get the silk? We are going to get the silk from the cocoon of silk. So we are going to get the cocoon of the silk from the cocoon of the silkworms. So now we already know that wool is we are going to get from the fleece hair of the animals. Fleece or hair of the animals. From which animals we are going to get those fleece? If we see the animals which bearing high amount of hairs, as well as the hairs of those animals should be soft. The hairs of those animals should be soft. If we take the example of the buffaloes, can we use the hair of the buffaloes for the making of the clothing material? No. It will be irritating one. They will be coarse one, they will be rough one, so that we can't take the hair from the buffalo. Is it possible that we are going to get the hair from the ox or from the other animal beings like donkey? Is it possible to use those hairs? No. Because of that, we are a selective animal beings. Those selective animal beings are going to provide with the soft hair. Those soft hair is used as the what? Those used as what? As the clothing material. So those animals are nothing but what? We are going to take the fleece hair from the their bodies. They are going to protect those animals from the winter season, from the coldness. So that in the cold there will be high amount of temperature loss. So that being the hairs are being the very bad conductor of the heat. Since they are maximum covering of the hairs, those hairs are going to trap the air which is coming from outside to inside those bodies, their bodies. When they trap, since they are poor conductor of the heat, they are not going to pass the air from outside to inside to their skin. So if they are not passing that air only, is it possible that they are going to feel cold? No, it is not possible. Because of that reason they are going to feel comfortable. Since the hairs which are present, the fleas which are present on those bodies is going to protect them from the cold environment. If they are protected from the cold environment as well as if they are soft in nature, is it possible that we are going to use those wool for the purpose of the clothing material so that we can be protected from the cold air which is present in the winter season? Yes, it is possible. So that by using that wool we are going to knit some cloth or knit sweaters so that those sweaters are going to trap the air which is coming from outside, so that we should feel comfortable, we should feel warmer in the winter season. For that reason we are using the woolen cloth. If you remember the chapter 4, that is nothing but about heat, where in the winter season we prepare woolen cloth. If you remember that thing, why we are preparing the woolen cloth? Because of this reason. So we are going to get the wool from the goat, sheep and yak. Now, which type of hair we are going to use for the purpose of the wool? Now, if you take an activity, we are going to do something with our hairs. Right? Touch your body parts like hands, like legs. There will be presence of the hair. In the same manner, touch your head. There are also presence of the hair. So, which hair feels softer? The hair which are present on the head, reason, or the hair which are present on the body parts? The hair which are present on the body parts will be softer one. The hair which is present on the head are the coarse one. So in the same manner, on the animal beings, on the animal bodies, there are two types of hairs are present. On the body one, another are the beard region. So there are two types of hair present on the full body covering as well as on the beard region. So what are those two types of hair of fleas or hair which are present on the body? One is, we have two types there. The first one is what? First one is the coarse beard hair. The coarse beard hair. Second one is the fine hair. The fine soft underhair present here to the skin. Right, the coarse hair which is present at the beard side, that is nothing but those are the rough one. So we are not going to use for the purpose of making wool. In the same manner, the body covered hair which are present on the animals, which are used for the purpose of making the wool, making the fiber. So this type of hair, that is nothing but the hair which is present here to the body of the animals. If you check, if you put your hands on the animal beings, like sheep, if you put your hands on this cheek region or this beard region, they will be harder or they will be rougher. If you put your hands on the body of that sheep, those hairs will be smoother one, and those will be the finer one. If you put inside those hairs, the under hair which is present here to the skin, which will be more finer, more finer and more softer. So that those hairs is used for the purpose of the what? For the purpose of the making of the wool. So this type of hair is going to be used. So for that reason only, for this purpose only, some animals are crossbred. So that we already know that we require this type of hairs. Now if you check here, the amount of hair required for the producing wool is high. So is it possible that the amount of hair production will be, we are going to increase the amount of hair production? Is it possible by using animals? It is not possible. If we go on doing those things, those are the natural one, and it takes time. They take time. So how we are going to increase the amount of wool production here? By increasing the number of animals. By increasing the number of animals. So how it is possible? So we are going to breed an animal which is going to give high yield of wool with another animal. We are going to crossbreed it. Crossbreed it. If we take the example of the HF cow, so that HF cow is going to give us a high amount of milk. Now if it is giving high amount of milk, why it is giving high amount of milk? It is a crossbreed one. So we are breeding or we are crossbreeding an animal which is yielding high amount of milk with another animal. In the same way, if you take the example of deer sheep, we are going to crossbreed it. So that high yielding or high hair having animal is crossbreed with the another animal, so that the offspring which is coming, the offspring which are coming of those animals, it will have high yield of the hairs. So that if you take here, high yielding sheep crossbreed with another animal. So those are crossbreed. So the child of these things, if we take a child of these things or offspring of these things, offspring of these two animals will be high in hair. So this will be have the qualities of the sheep. That is nothing but they will have high amount of hair on their bodies. So that those hair can be used for the purpose of the making wool. So this type of breeding is nothing but it is the selective breeding. This is the selective breeding. Why? We are choosing a characteristic of this animal. Using that characteristic, we are breeding. So that selective breeding. So that character should be expressed in this animal also. So selecting one property for the breeding purpose is nothing but it is the selective breeding. So I hope this is clear everything about these things. In the next class, we are going to discuss further about the fiber to the fabrics. In the next class, up to that point, thank you. Take care. Stay well. Stay